The Little Duck. But Mom, what if I mess up?
Doesn't matter.
One morning in early spring, a little boy was fishing in the pond near his farm. Again and again he threw out his line and pulled it in. At last he caught a fish. The boy gathered his things to go home. Suddenly he saw something nestled in the tall grass at the pond's edge. It was an egg! A duck's egg! The little boy carried the egg home with him. He placed the egg in an incubator so it would keep warm. Every day the boy turned the egg over as gently as a mother duck. Finally, after 28 days of waiting and watching, the boy heard something peeping and pecking inside. The shell cracked and broke open. Henry, the little duck, was hatching. Henry did not look at all as the boy thought he should. His feathers were wet and they stuck to his body. His feet were enormous. The little duck stood up on his big orange feet. He tried a few small steps. Then he stretched his spindly wings and wriggled them as fast as he could. He began to get dry and fluffy. Getting hatched is hard work. Henry was tired. He put his head down beside his empty shell and went to sleep. When Henry woke up, his fluffy yellow down was completely dry. Now he looked like a duck. After a few days, the boy placed him in a wading pool. It was time for the little duck's first swim. Henry tried hard to paddle, but the more he paddled, the deeper he sank. The ducks cannot float without oil on their feathers. Baby ducks usually get this oil from their mother's feathers when she sits in the nest with them. But Henry's mother was an incubator. He would have to wait until his own oiled glands began to work before he tried to swim again. The boy quickly scooped Henry up from the bottom of the pool and wrapped him in a towel. Henry was shivering and sputtering. The boy was afraid he would catch cold, so he set the hairdryer on warm, dried Henry's feathers in no time. When the little duck was dry again, he found a cozy resting place on the board back of the family dog. Together they dozed in the sunshine. Through the summer, Henry kept growing. The boy fed him cracked corn and duck mash. Henry ate. The bigger he grew. One day, as Henry was standing beside a puddle, his reflection showed stiff white feathers growing over his yellow down. Suddenly, Henry's voice began to do something new. Only a small beep beep was all he said. But now strange noises came out when he opened his beak. Beep beep, squawk, beep honk, beep quack quack quack. Henry was growing up. During the summer, Henry followed the boy all around the farm. Sometimes the boy was busy. Then Henry looked for other friends. One day he waddled down the hill and into the barnyard. He quacked at the hen, but the hen did not care about ducks. He quacked at the rabbit, but the rabbit listened, but did not say anything. When Henry quacked at the goat leaned over and butted him. Finally, Henry went back home. Summer turned into autumn, and the boy had to go to school without anyone to play with. Henry had nothing to do all day. He tried to swim in his blue plastic pool, but the pool had become too small for Henry. On weekends, the boy stayed home. Then Henry was happy. He had a playmate, and sometimes on warm winter days when the boy was away, his grandfather would walk Henry on the porch. But still Henry seemed lonely. He needed a special friend. The little duck was almost grown up. One bright morning in early spring, Henry waddled off the porch. He was a handsome grown-up duck now, with a beautiful curl feather at the tip of his tail. Henry walked straight down the hill, past the barnyard, and across the meadow. Suddenly, Henry stopped. He opened his beak and loud quack. Before him was a wide, deep pool of water, much wider and deeper than his blue plastic pool at home. Henry had found the pond. In the middle of the pond, spreading its wings, was the first duck Henry had ever seen. As fast as he could, Henry paddled out to meet the new duck. It looked almost exactly like Henry, but it did not have a special curl at the tip of its tail. The duck was a girl. She quacked at Henry. Henry had found his special friend at last. Soon Henry and his friend had an egg of their own, nestled in the tall grass beside the pond.